welcome to episode 6 of Terrorshewrote. I'm Nicole.
I'm Brittany.
And we're on episode 6. We did it!
I like your new headphones still.
Oh, thank you. They're pretty cool. I realized that hardwiring them into this mic is the best way for audio to happen, especially because these die.
Exactly.
Yeah, they die. They don't sound right. It's all right. It's fine.
What the listeners don't know is that we would start, but we can't hear each other for like a good 20 minutes before we record.
Yeah.
So now we're better.
Much better. So good. I'm not a singer, but I'm gonna sing to you.
Boo.
I went to a concert for Halloween and my friends dressed up. One was a loofah and one was a bar of soap, and it was really cute. And then my other friend was from The Purge, that movie. And then I didn't really want to dress up, but they were like, I'm dressing up, so you should too. So I went to CVS and grabbed a witch hat, just like a little tiny witch hat for like a small child that lit up. So I did that. And I really wanted my friend that was dressed up as Purge to go and do the costume contest. So I went up with them and we did the thing and it got to the voting section. And I'm just there because why not? And they get to me and the whole room is silent. I shit you not. There's maybe like 2 people that I met that were like, and I'm like, oh, dang, this is worse than being booed off the stage. They're so much worse.
I was in the crowd, boo! Get off the stage!
Yeah.
Dumb witch!
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing, but I mean, whatever. It's fine.
Hey.
I did it.
You did it. No one else in that crowd went on the stage. They didn't have the balls.
Yeah. They didn't even dress up.
Exactly.
Idiot.
I love Halloween. Last time I was... What's his name? Oh, fuck. Shit. Tim was the canvas and I was the Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, that's who I was.
Yeah.
That was the best costume. And then last year we were Ghostface.
Oh,
I had
nice.
fake eyelashes on my mask, though.
Oh, that's cute.
But speaking of ghosts, I have another ghost story to share from Ketria. Remember hers with the ball?
Yes.
Ah, dude.
Hell yeah, Ketria. Welcome back to the pod.
Ooh.
Here we go.
She titled this, A Toxic Place. We've all been there.
Too many times.
And we'll get into that one the next episode.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. You're right.
Don't hold a mic like that in this angle. God.
Sorry.
The way you're
I'm
like
working
even
on it.
twisting your hands around it. I'm like, what is that?
I've never had a... Never mind. If our listeners that are as NSFW as we are, they know where I was going with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a joke we've all heard before. Suck my dick.
Always. All right. Toxic place. The first 3 years I spent in the Navy was a roller coaster of survival. Life on board an aircraft carrier was an adventure for everyone, but the adventures for me were mostly dark and uncomfortable in every way. Years were spent desperately navigating the social climate of having friends, leaders, and teachers that were either good in their own right or abusive and manipulative for their own sick gain. One such person, who I called a friend, in parentheses, though she was a viper at her rotting core, convinced me to be her roommate with one other woman, the plan being a 3-way split in rent and such. That never goes well.
Couples just don't work. Somebody always falls in love. Wait, that's friends with benefits. Anyways, hopefully everybody in your throuple is in love. It's fine. Love is love. Do you, boo-boo?
Amen. Snaps to that. So the plan being a 3-way. You know, that's funny. I did immediately go straight to like 3-way. Threesome. Anyway. Post-deployment, I was eager to live off of the ship and was desperate for even an ounce of privacy, and so I agreed, hoping the snake behind her smile wouldn't bite.
Ooh. Oh, damn, Ketria.
I know, dude.
Ketria, I'm going to need you to write a smut book, please. Because, wow.
I thought you were going to say ghost stories.
Yeah, I mean, that too.
Where was I? Okay. It didn't take long before she began to weave her toxic web, catching me in her sticky, abusive threads on a daily basis.
Bitch, I'm sorry. Ketria, go be an author.
Honestly, what you doing here in our podcast?
If you're still in the Navy, get out.
Honestly.
Go find a publishing house.
Damn. I was her own verbal punching bag, an emotional slave for her to play with. Ugh.
Okay, listen.
What?
You can't tell me none of this has like some sexual innuendo. I can't. All right. I'm going to stop. I'm going to mute myself so I stop talking about sex. This is not how we should start our podcast.
Sex.
Sex. Yeah, just get it out of our system now.
It's
Sex. Sounding.
Nut. All right.
Okay,
no.
please go.
We're good.
Oh, go. Do it. I'm muting.
Okay. My boyfriend at the time had moved in with me also. We will call him Ken. And we share the room trying to fit our young life together in one room, though constantly walking on eggshells. The apartment was lovely, light carpeting and creamy white walls that promised a light and airy atmosphere greeted us. But somehow it managed to trap within its walls a nightmare that would find me and my 3 other roommates. Ken wasn't one for superstition. That being said, the morning he woke me up at 3 a.m, fear in his eyes, his demeanor no more than a small boy's would be, snapped me out of my groggy slumber. He loomed over me, whispering for me to wake up. He turned on the light and asked if I could sit in the bathroom with him while he took a shower. I asked why, confused at the strange request. Something weird is happening, he said eerily, looking towards the bedroom door. What is it? What's wrong? I rubbed the sleep from my eyes, still feeling drowsy and brave. Something opened the laundry room door, he said. I know I had shut it and it's opened again, and my keys were moved. He rubbed the back of his neck and I searched his eyes for any hint of a joke. Could it have been the roommate? I suggested, starting to feel wary. She's been asleep for hours. His voice was low and uneasy. I nodded and got up from the bed, following him in the restroom. I sat on the closed toilet seat and wrapped myself in the blanket as he showered quickly. Once he left for work, I crawled back into bed, contemplating his words. I hadn't done anything to invite a negative presence, but I could see how the toxic environment we lived in would be a place for something negative to thrive. Emotional pain, anger, and stress would be a buffet for a negative spirit.
Yeah, 100%. Can confirm, baby.
That's for the later episodes.
Stay tuned, bitches.
Seemingly weeks later, I stayed up late with Ken. His laptop was open and he was watching YouTube. Wait, hold on. Before I go on to this. He really said something's wrong. Come join me in the shower, and then just leaves her alone.
Right. That's red flag number 1.
Yeah.
Hold on. Aaron and I were watching. He sent me this video on Facebook, and it's the Be a Man guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just says like random shit. He's like, shit in the urinal. Be a man. And it's just a bunch of reels like that. And he'll be like, get diagnosed with a preventable disease. Be a man.
No.
Or some shit. So funny. And last night we were joking around and he's like, you and Brittany should do that segment on your podcast because that would be so funny. And I was like, yeah, totally. So one of his things was like, got a rash, cut it off, be a man. And then he was like, be a woman, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, boyfriend said you look pretty, kill him, be a woman. And why would you kill him for complimenting you? And I was like, oh, why not?
Because who gave him the right?
Right. And then we talked about my vape dying. And I said, vape battery dies, kill a baby, be a man. I was like, why am I?
You brought it to another level. This man says poop in the urinal. You said murder a baby. Like, there's a major difference. Be a man.
Huge fucking difference. Anyways, so Ketria's boyfriend should have been a man. He wasn't. Watch, he never came back.
They deployed him, and he didn't tell her. Fucked. That's fucked. Anyway, seemingly weeks later, I stayed up late with Ken. His laptop was open and he was watching YouTube, passing in time as he hid away in my room. The viper of a woman was at work, a time we cherished as a time we could relax. I played on my phone until I heard my other roommate moving around in her room, which was next door to mine. I heard her shuffling paper, her steps heavy and shifting the floorboards slightly as she moved around her room. I gave Ken a side eye. Can you turn that down, please? I don't want to disturb her. It was past midnight and I didn't want to receive any complaints about how loud the laptop was. Ken rolled his eyes and turned it down a bit.
Red flag number 2.
Well, little shit.
I hope they're still not dating.
Oh, no, they're not.
Good. Fuck you, Ken. You weren't good enough for Barbie anyways.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'll make a smub of me and Barbie.
You should.
I breathe out, feeling irritated at nobody in particular. Girl, you were irritated with him.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m., the front door opened and closed, and I peeked my head out of my room to see my roommate entering the apartment. Hiya, I said, confused that she was entering when I had heard her in her room earlier and didn't hear her leave. Did you just leave and come back? She looked at me and said no. She had just come back for the day as she was out with her friends all night. My eyes widened and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. But I've heard someone in your room moving papers and walking around. She looked at me, clearly as disturbed as I was. We both walked into her room and looked at each other, not wanting to say what we were thinking. A couple of months later, my roommate and I were both at work. I received a text message from the Viper. That she calls her the Viper. And my stomach dropped. What could she possibly have to say this time? I opened the text and saw the panic in her punctuation before I fully read the message. Is anyone home right now? I responded no, indifferent to her inquiry. Inquiry? Inquiry? Is that how you say it?
Inquiry. Both work.
Cool.
Depends on where you're from.
I'm so fucking scared right now. The front door was locked and I was sitting on the couch and it just opened and slammed shut. I just ran to my room and locked my door. I doubled down that nobody else was home as we were working. I agreed that was creepy and continued on with my night on that depressing ship. Some time had passed without any strange incident, giving me a false sense of security from the unknown. After an argument with Ken, who had grown increasingly bitchy for a lack of better terms, we had gone out and purchased a new bed to replace our air mattress. That night, I awoke in the darkness, my back to Ken and my body unmoving. I felt fear creep into my mind and my heart began thumping heavily against my chest. My fear turned into terror as I began to sense something I couldn't see standing at the end of my bed. I felt its sick, wicked amusement as it slowly walked around my bed, reaching out to drag its hand across my long desk, moving papers and random objects as it approached my side of the bed.
Oh my god, I have chills.
Me too.
Holy shit.
Oh, it's like I can hear it. That's the thing. It's so fucking detailed.
Yeah, dude.
I tried everything in my power to move, mentally begging Ken to wake up and move me. He slept peacefully, a hero to no one. A third red flag.
Oh, right. This man.
I could feel the unseen entity now bent over me and could somehow tell it was grinning with sadistic glee. Ah! Oh! It's scary. Its dead hand slid to my throat and squeezed until I couldn't breathe. Panic washed over me until I felt nothing but the hands around my throat and the painful sensation of unbridled terror ripping through me. Again, this is not a fictional story. This is her actual experience. Just letting everyone know.
She's just a really good writer.
Yeah. It sounds fictional, but
Super
this is
good
her
writer.
experience. Exactly. Seconds that felt like hours passed before I jolted awake, finally able to move, my mind reeling. My heart was still slamming into my chest, my blood roaring in my ears. I looked over to Ken, angry and scared but not wanting to disturb him. Was I crazy? I snatched my phone off the nightstand and stepped outside of the room, only making a couple of steps before bracing my back against the wall and sliding down to sit. I couldn't hold back the tears and I called my mother. It was 2:30 in the morning. She answered my call and I choked out what happened, trying to talk through my tears. My throat still throbbed. I asked my mom what I should do and what was happening. Honey, she said, her voice tender, I think you need to smudge your apartment. I blinked, disbelief and a fresh wave of fear tickling the back of my neck with its icy fingers. I had fully expected her to tell me it was just a bad dream. I asked her if it could have been one. She didn't seem convinced. After some comforting words and some direction smudging, we said our goodbyes and I wiped the tears from my eye. I peered into the darkness of the apartment, wondering what was staring back at me. That is the end.
Fuck, dude.
Fuck is right.
Ugh.
I have goosebumps.
God damn. That's terrifying.
And again, it always happens when the whole environment is extremely negative. That's insane. First of all, fuck you, Ken.
Yeah, fuck you, Ken. Fuck you, Viper. It's all Viper's fault, really. And she has to have something attached to her.
Oh, 100%.
Because if she's that negative or whatever, she's got some shit attached to her that's just draining all of her happiness.
Yes.
And she's manifesting it into anger.
Yes.
Stupid bitch. Fuck you, Viper.
I want to know the story of Viper.
Right. Listen, I need that tea. Thank you for the ghost story, but we also love gossip.
Yeah, so tell us about Viper, Ketria, bestie. Give us a name. Be a man.
Okay, so my story is called I Deleted Hinge. You should too. Which I feel is very fitting because Ken was a piece of shit. So
yeah,
here's another piece of shit moment. All right. He was beautiful. His profile was clever. Plus, he baked cupcakes in his free time. We matched. I broke the ice. He was quick to ask me out on a date. A paint and sip. Very nice. After a frenzied afternoon of shaving, exfoliating, and spraying, I arrived a cool 4 minutes late. The moment I saw him, I took a mental snapshot just in case this was it. An unfortunate habit stuck firmly in place in 7th grade. His features were elegant and refined, his stature long and markedly lean, the type of person who attracted the eye effortlessly. He was lively and curious, and his nose wrinkled when he laughed, my favorite. When paint smeared and wine guzzled, our masterpieces were complete. It was a brisk, drizzly evening. We bumped against each other every few steps and took turns critiquing each painting, affecting a snobby, highbrow sensibility. His shoulder felt solid despite his wiry appearance. He must work out, I thought. We kissed against a wrought iron fence, bathed in an amber glow of an old street lamp, his tongue gentle and sweet against mine. They're tongue lashing, bro.
Are you reading a smut right now?
I mean, I guess. I honestly didn't go too deep into this. I must have just read the end of it and was like, this is the one. Oh. It's...
Dude.
I glanced ahead.
No.
It's come make you giggle. We kissed against a wrought iron fence, bathed in the amber glow of an old street lamp, his tongue gentle and sweet against mine. He pulled away for a moment, cupping my face affectionately. You taste so good.
Oh my God!
Just wait. He leaned back in, pressing more passionately than before. His tongue ventured deeper and deeper into my mouth, probing, exploring.
What the fuck did you...
Before I knew it. Just wait. I didn't expect this, I swear to God. Before I knew it, it stroked my uvula.
No!
It's so hard to take this seriously.
You found a story with these kind of details. Okay, listen. Just
It's fine.
You said just listen. This is a good story. And they have sex in it.
That's the title of our episode. This is a good story. They have sex in it.
I'm writing that down, dude. Oh. I'm ready to listen to the rest of this smut.
Okay. My stomach heaved and a surge of bile rose in my throat. I instinctively tried to push him away out of the splash zone. Oh no.
Ew!
The fucking splash zone.
Oh no. Oh no.
This motherfucker's at SeaWorld.
His tongue is Shamu. Oh. You have to continue. We have to get through this one. I'm so scared. No, this is a scary story.
Okay. I instinctively tried to push him away out of the splash zone, but he was dense and did not budge. My nausea was quickly replaced with sheer embarrassment. He apologized endlessly and admitted that he had not done this in a very long time. The abashed flush only made his face more handsome. I mentally placed our painting side by side above the tasteful couch we were certain to share in a year, maybe two. But even perfect evenings must end.
Sorry, she started imagining her future with him? From that?
She did, even though he gave her,
From that?
He just made you feel sick. So why would you even think about being in that situation for that long?
His tongue.
Unless you just plan on never making out with him ever again.
Be a man, cut off his tongue.
Yeah. But even perfect evenings must end. I'll call you an Uber, he declared. How chivalrous of you. Oh, she's British now. Chivalrous of you.
Oh, this corny bitch.
Fuck me, dude. No wonder she's hooked. She hasn't gotten laid in 20 years or some shit, her entire adulthood. She's the definition of whatever a hopeless romantic is.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Jesus. How chivalrous of you. Thank you, but there's no need. I live like 3 blocks that way. No way. What cross street? 87th and Amsterdam. You're kidding. I live right there, he nearly shouted. We giggled like children as we continued along, referencing 2-hour-old inside jokes.
Hey, remember when you almost made me vomit by shoving your tongue down my throat?
God, it felt like a lifetime ago. We're just meant to be. Soon my building towered over us, the burgundy brick etched in stark film noir shadows. His jaw hung agape. No, this is a prank. Where are the cameras? This is my building. That's insane, I cried. How did I not realize? A key turn later, we were stomping up the dank, spongy stairs. 1, 2, 3 flights up, up, up. Okay. And now we're fucking Dr. Seuss.
Okay.
A key turn later, we were stomping up the dank, spongy stairs. 1, 2, 3 flights up, up, up. I hate me for that.
It's getting worse.
With each floor, we grew giddier, more incredulous. I saw my door then, a familiar seasick green, paint chipped at the corners to reveal a previous crimson varnish underneath. A shabby 9A hung slightly askew. He approached it like an old friend. Well, this is me. I stopped dead, my hackles only now raising. Too little, too late. This one? 9A? He paused, calculating, then abruptly bellowed, Yes, ma'am. Home sweet home. He slapped the door sharply. What? These people, they're like 40 years old or some shit. They must be. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
The artful curve of his face twisted very slightly. Something strained and eager was there, right below the surface. Can I come in? I'm curious if it has the same layout as mine, I tested, wondering how far he'd take this. He blushed and shifted his weight, the perfect performance of chaste sincerity. I'm flattered, but I really like you. I'd like to take things slow if that's okay with you. He smiled neatly, and his eyes remained wide, unblinking. There we stayed for an uncomfortably long moment. I wasn't sure where to go from here. I understand. Thank you for the wonderful evening. I presented my hand for a friendly shake, chest puffed out with counterfeit confidence. Behind my ribcage, my heart galloped wildly. He must have heard it too. His spindly fingers laced through mine, the skin cool and waxy. How did I not notice that before? You'll see me again sooner than you think, neighbor. His strained cheeriness made my stomach churn. I left him there, outside the door to my own home, and continued up the stairs, fighting the urge to sprint away. Where else could I go but the roof? The night air stung my adrenaline-soaked skin. I flew to the crumbling edge and peered at the dizzying sidewalk below. The minutes slid by slowly, but finally, the front door squealed open. 1, 2, 3 crisp footsteps, and there he was, so many flights below me. He looked small all the way down there. He remained perfectly still. What was he doing? I thought of those big cats in Nat Geo documentaries, infinitely patient, ever ravenous. My pulse roared in my ears. I did not make a sound, I swear, and yet, that lovely head swiveled 180 degrees, his wide-eyed gaze immediately locating me. There we remained, tortuously frozen in time. In a split second, he spun on his heels and threw himself at the brick facade with inhuman speed. I swear to you, he scuttled up the side of the building, sinewy limbs flailing violently. My legs took over and dragged me from that spot by force.
Oh!
I burst back inside in record time, but his footsteps already scrambled onto the roof behind me. God, he was fast, and I wouldn't make it. I threw myself at the mercy of gravity, hoping those trusty stairs would be there to support me. Sure enough, they came one after the other. In a moment, I was at my door, but those infernal footfalls careened closer and closer with punishing speed. My numb fingers fumbled with the keys. Why did I have so many goddamn keys? Slick with sweat, I managed to shakily insert the correct one, turning it hurriedly. The door rasped ajar, pleading for me to come inside. 1 foot to safety, I swiveled on my axis. Mere inches behind, he rocketed toward me, joints hinged far past their breaking point, torso flung back in a grotesque arc, so deep that his exquisite skull dragged behind him. What the fuck? Slamming mercilessly against each step with an appalling thud, thud, thud. I'm like really killing it right now.
Yeah, you are.
At the threshold, he, or more accurately, it, lurched forward like an awful marionette puppet. That refined jaw split open, revealing a fleshy throat with rows of gleaming teeth spiraling into its depths. Just in time, I flung the door shut and threw my weight against it, bracing for an impact that never came. Silence. Then my phone buzzed. One new message. Look behind you. Smiley face. My breath caught in my throat. Though every cell in my body begged me not to, I turned my fearful gaze. There, through the living room window, hardly discernible in the inky darkness, the awful thing's eyes bulged, an endless abyss of pitch black. Its taut skin pulled back to reveal a dripping, toothy grin. Then, a camera flash. I blinked away stars, fighting to see around the blind spot in my vision. I squinted through the murky glass, searching for that dreadful face, but it was gone. I haven't left my apartment all day. I don't know if I ever will again. The daylight offers some comfort, but with each passing minute, the sun creeps closer to the horizon. I'll update you all tomorrow if I make it. If not, I hope this post helps someone out there. And please, for the love of God, delete Hinge.
Okay, first of all, girly, it's like she made so many mistakes.
So many mistakes. I think she's just like a very lonely person.
Yeah, a very, very lonely person.
That was a fucking roller coaster.
It was a cute story. Well, a cute little date to Splash Zone, to him acting like he lives in that apartment. And then the next, him walking up the building like that with his limbs flailing, and he's suddenly a demon-looking thing.
Right.
So did she survive? Is there an update?
There might be. I'll have to look.
If not, she's dead.
She dead, girl.
And this is why you gave them the wrong address.
Always.
Damn. That had me sweating.
Yeah. In more ways than one. And not in like a sexy way. In a like, this was really funny.
Yeah.
And scary.
Yeah. I honestly thought this was a rated R one. That is so funny to me. That you, of course, would find the story like this. And that's how they know. We don't read through the stories before we record.
I'll like glance at most of them and be like, all right, is this worth telling? Or is this too long? Does this have too much like, shit in it?
Yeah.
And I like the fact that she's still talking about how beautiful this man is when he's like not a human is wild.
She is every book girly.
Oh, that's what it is. That's why she was so into it. Because she was like, this is what dreams are made of. This is what dreams are made of.
I do have a short one. I haven't read this one. And it is from the same writer from the previous episode. He left comments under his post. If you guys don't remember, it's the one with the old man, the imaginary friend, quote unquote. Do you remember that, Nicole?
I think so.
Yeah, where she invited the old man inside the house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the same person. Different experience. I think it's the same house. This is a very short one. I don't know much about it. All I know is they had more experience. So we'll see how this goes. So this is the only time I felt true fear in that house. We all generally slept with our bedroom doors closed, but this night was a nice temperature. So we had the bedroom doors open. It was just me and my dad home, as the rest of the family was out west for a festival. And in the middle of the night, I was awoken by the door slamming shut. Another one. A fucking another one.
Damn it. The fucking doors.
And as I rolled over to go back to sleep, I heard the footsteps in the hallway. So I figured Bob was making a late night journey down the hall. Who Bob?
Can we build it? Yes, we can. Bob the Builder.
She is singing again.
Oh, shit. I am singing again. This episode is songs and sex. Sex and songs.
God. It's not always going to be like this, guys. I can't promise that. I'm just hoping
I feel like we say that every episode.
Yeah. It's kind of like we're very consistent with it.
We're very consistent about how this is not how it's always going to be. Like we're going to fucking change.
Yeah, no. I mean, have you heard our intros from episode 1 till now? Still the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Bob, where are you? Okay. So I figured Bob was making a late night journey down the hall. Except once the steps reached my door, they paused and then started into my room. This was the first and last time the steps deviated on their path. I was still facing the door and could see no one, and the footsteps continued all the way to the edge of my bed. My eyes must have resembled dinner plates in the darkness, but I couldn't see anything standing by my bed. Then I noticed the sound of breathing. I know it wasn't mine because I'd stopped breathing and my heart was treating my rib cage like a speed bag. After a few moments, I managed to calm myself a bit, muttered out, "God damn it, Bob," and rolled over to face the wall. This was...
God damn it, Bobby.
This was a mistake, because the next thing I felt was a weight settling onto my bed, followed by the lifting of my blanket and the feeling of someone crawling under it and laying down. I lay there in fear for what felt like hours, but it was probably minutes before exhaustion took me to sleep. Hope this is what you were looking for. Thanks for showing interest. Man, I hate that.
Me too. God damn it, Bobby.
Bobby!
I have a story too.
Okay.
It's surprisingly similar. I didn't plan this. We didn't plan this.
No.
But this is a listener story who would like to be remained anonymous.
Ooh.
They are not British. And I want it to. When I was a kid, back when we lived in Pakistan, I used to see things that didn't look human. At first, I thought everyone could see them. I'd ask the adults, "Do you see that?" But they always said no. These creatures, whatever they were, they followed me. I'd be walking home from school and I could feel them behind me. Not just one, several. I never looked too long. I didn't want to. But here's the thing. They never came inside my house. Except for one. There was this old woman. She was different from the others. The first time I saw her, she was just standing there, inside our home. I remember asking my mom, "Who is that?" And my mom just frowned and said, "Who?" I pointed. Her. The old lady. But she wasn't there. At least not for anyone else. At night, it got worse. I'd wake up and see her standing right next to my bed, just staring at me. Not moving, not speaking, just watching. After a while, I stopped telling people what I was seeing. No one ever believed me anyways. Then the dreams started. At least they seemed like they were dreams. I'd feel myself floating, drifting up higher and higher until I was looking down at my own body, watching myself sleep. And I couldn't move. I couldn't wake up. Sometimes I'd snap out of it, gasping for air, drenched in sweat, screaming. My parents were so worried they took me to doctors and even had sleep studies done, but no one could explain it. And then we moved. When we left Pakistan and came to the US, everything just stopped. No more creatures, no more out-of-body experiences. The old woman, gone. For the first time in my life, I felt normal. But even now, after all these years, I still feel something. I don't see them anymore, but I know that they're there. Waiting.
Oh, why did they have to add the waiting part? Oh, I hate that. Good story, but oh my God.
Right? Awful.
I got chills.
I hate when you can see them and nobody else can, and you're just trying to not be crazy.
No, I like that. I already believe in ghosts, but
yeah,
it makes me fear them even more now because of their experiences. Because none of them had positive ghost experiences.
I had that one time I was drunk in my friend's house.
Oh, yes. I remember this.
Yeah.
Oh, the ghost spooned you.
The ghost spooned me. If anybody is listening that has any positive ghost experiences, we would like some heartfelt things so we're not worried about being chased.
Yeah. Fucking hate that shit.
Demons. See, there goes the joke. The joke's not funny anymore.
Don't
Something
continue.
about an uvula.
And the splash zone.
Free Willy.
Oh, God. It's so...
That's just ingrained in our brains now.
I feel like the next episode, if you also have like the update, you got to read it. You got to give the listeners what they want. We want an update.
Yeah, I'll look that up, and then we'll definitely... We'll see. We'll see if there's a 2. If not, then you'll never hear about it ever again.
Yeah. She's just dead. Or forever choking on I gotta stop. We gotta stop.
Sex and songs.
Sex and songs. Sex and songs.
We say it so often. Maybe that should be our title. No, I like the one that you said first. That we have
it's
written
a
down
really
already.
good story. They have sex in it.
My friend, his name is Dan DeLuca. Shout out, buddy. He's writing a book.
Oh,
He just finished his second book in the series. It's called The Reckoning. It's pretty
Ooh.
fucking good. Do you have Kindle Unlimited?
I do not.
No, it's on Kindle if you want to get the ebook of it. But it's pretty fucking good.
Amazon?
Good job, Dan. He and I have been talking about it. Amazon for sure.
What's it called?
The Reckoning.
Okay. I'm going to look that up.
I avoid horror genres in every aspect of my life except apparently this podcast. And like I knew from the just cover of the book that it was a horror book. And I was like, well, it's my friend. I'm going to read it.
I mean, you gotta.
I was scared and it's good. It's good. I totally recommend it. He's working on 3 and 4. The second book just came out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's killing it right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, yeah, we'll add it onto our caption under this episode. Now we need Ketria to make a horror book.
Yeah, Ketria.
Call it The Viper.
You're so descriptive.
I love it.
Well, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Please go follow, share, and leave a review. Also, if you have your own paranormal experience, send us an email at terrorshewrote@gmail.com, and we will feature you on the next episodes. It will be in our description box below.
We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so be sure to we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah,
we're working on.
Yeah, we're it's still in the works. We also have social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, OnlyFans.
You're so fucking bad at this. That was something Spiro said too. He's like, I was like, yeah, it's great that we're not doing video. He's like, yeah, I mean, if you were doing video, you'd be showing your feet. I was like, yeah, while we're eating spaghetti. He's like, oh my goodness.
Just wait till we're on YouTube. They're not ready for that. It's gonna be
They're not fucking
terrible. It's gonna be so bad, but it's okay. It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be so much fun.
But thank you,
All right,
everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.